We're in the garden house right now, but we're going to go out and plant a tree today. Now, I've been looking for a while for a tree for our south yard, which is on the outside of the backyard garden. And I needed something that would grow not more than 20 foot tall, but would kind of give us some privacy. Since we're on a corner lot, we have a lot of road traffic, and as you're aware, our deck sets up pretty high. So any type of shrub just wouldn't have been tall enough to give us the privacy we're looking for. But I also wanted something pretty, something that would flower. And I have on that side of the yard 2 maples, red maples already, that look beautiful in the fall, but they're more up towards the front of the south side and don't do anything for the backyard. We did have a tree at one time in the back, in that area where we're going to plant the new tree, but that was taken down a few years ago, and it's time for something new. So I've been looking, like I mentioned, and I went shopping yesterday. And then before we get planting though, let me follow up on the clearance plant haul. So in that video, I had showed you some cat grass that I had picked up for our son's cat, Cheeto. Well, he stopped by to pick up the cat grass and then sent me a photo afterwards of he barely got in the house with the cat grass and barely got it set down, not to where he wanted it, but his hands were full. So he set it down in the first closest spot, and she found it immediately and was on it and checking it out. So I'll include that picture up above if I can of her, but she was really enjoying that cat grass. So that was exciting to know that one of my purchases was happily loved. So anyway, today's project, like I said, is planting the tree. And then I do want to show you a few things now that we're in August that are performing really well. A couple areas that I'm really enjoying, and some flowers that are doing spectacular. Not a full garden tour, but just a couple things. And I will have a August garden tour coming up shortly of the back garden and also the front, because the front garden, the mailbox area, is just taken off. It is just looking beautiful up there also. Again, thank you for all that are watching, and thanks for subscribing and sharing this with your friends and family. I appreciate it. So we used to have a tree, a Bradford pear, a little bit farther over from where my husband's digging right now, about right there. And if you can see up, I'm gonna go up. We have some power lines from our house out to the power pole, and the Bradford pear was so big that it ended up growing into the power line. We haven't had a tree here for quite a few years, and I am wanting something for some street protection, also, you know, some blockage right here, because not only would it help with the deck, since we have a deck that sets higher up in the air, we're going to need something taller than just maybe, you know, a normal shrub size for blockage. So I was looking for something that would block there, but also we have windows on the south side of our house. So I was looking for some coverage for you know, a tree that would help cover that. Dual purpose, backyard and the side of the house. Okay, so my husband John is digging the hole, and the new tree that I purchased to replace it is a Japanese lilac tree. So it'll get about 20 foot tall and 15 foot wide, so much smaller than a Bradford pear. So I'll have some good dirt to put in there. I'll amend it with some espoma. I'll put some espoma in, but let me get a close up to the, now it's already of course bloomed for this season. It bloomed in the spring, but it'll have these pretty white flowers, and I'll put a picture on the screen of what a Japanese lilac looks like full grown, and also give you some more specifics of it. So this one, I'm really thrilled. I can't wait to see what it looks like because it's a pretty good size. We got it at our local nursery, and this week here in our area they are predicting rain most of the week, so it's a perfect time in August to get this in the ground so that it'll get lots of rain. Okay, so we've gotten the tree out of the container and it looks really well. I teased the roots a little bit here on the side to make sure that they aren't circled around. Now I felt the bottom of it, and the bottom is fine. It's all open. They are a little bit around, so I have pulled a little bit because I don't want the root ball, I don't want the roots to circle around, but in this case it looks really good. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in, and here's our hole. It is pretty large. And then I have my biotone starter that I use on all my plantings. So let's put some of that in. The tree looks really nice, guys. And that'll be really pretty against the red maples in the fall and heaven. And I didn't want another fall tree. I did want something that did, you know, bloomed in spring, because the maples are green until fall, and then that's when they change. So there's no color change there. So I wanted some color for springtime. So this will be a really pretty accent. And it will be full sun, and that was one of the things that it required. So I think it'll be really happy there. So one of my favorite backyard areas right now that's doing so well is this little corner with the magnolia tree, and then under the magnolia tree is the two pretty hybrid tea roses that are in full bloom. This one on this side is Princess Charlene, and that one in the back is Paris. And I just love that with the lion fountain. I don't have the lion hooked up as a fountain, and that was a thrift find last year at a market that I like to go to. They happened to have that at one of the booths, and I immediately thought that would look great in the backyard, even if I never did hook it up as a fountain, just to hang on the fence. And so I just think that that corner is just so cute right now with the flowers in bloom, the delphinium there in the middle with the dark centers on those white blooms. I've got a lot of snapdragons down at the bottom blooming. So I just think the roses are doing just really pretty there, and the way that the magnolia tree, the Jane magnolia, hangs down in front of the roses, it's just a real pretty frame. To see this summer's project on the garden edging, check out this video next.